Now, ECO is the single currency proposed by the West African countries to COVID-19 pandemic. Speaking at the West African Monetary Agency Technical Committee meeting, Dr. Abradu Otu urged representatives of the central banks of the various countries to ensure that they meet all the requirements by December 2026 to enable the full adoption of the common currency to compete on the international market.
In June 2021, here in Accra, the authority of ECOWAS heads of states and government adopted a new roadmap for the launch of the ECO and a new macroeconomic convergence and stability pact. This followed after the COVID-19 pandemic disrupted the planned launch of the ECO in 2022. With the new roadmap, majority of member states must meet all the primary convergence criteria on a sustainable basis by 31st December 2026. This implies that the period 2024 to 2026 is critical if we should make any meaningful progress with the new roadmap.
That was Director of Research at the Bank of Ghana, Dr. Philip Abradu Otu. A finance professor, Elikplim Agloyo, is casting doubt over the introduction of the eco-currency anytime soon. The four separate monetary institutions under ECOWAS is looking at the member countries which have fared in meeting all the targets to aid the currency. But Professor Agloyo says introducing the currency in the short term might be difficult.
For you to have a common currency, countries should be at similar levels, so we call convergence criteria. So, for example, similar levels of inflation, some countries don't have high fiscal deficits, etc. So we need to be sure that countries are meeting the necessary convergence criteria. Again, we've seen a lot of political unrest in the region recently from Mali, Burkina Faso, Niger, etc. And I'm wondering whether this is a good time to accelerate the introduction of the ECO. But I think that is something that is important in the medium to long term. If we have a common currency, it has benefits for all of us. It promotes trade and it reduces the cost of business operations for businesses. And that would also provide a bigger market for our businesses where they can export to other countries in the ECOWAS region without currency conversion concerns.
Elikplim Agloyo is a finance professor. Now, the Ghana Revenue Authority has apprehended about 15 owners of retail outlets and beauty shops in the Ga East district of the Greater Accra region. The centers, all located in Hacho, a suburb of Accra, are operating without a value-added tax certificate. Some of the managers have been asked to report at the Criminal Investigations Department for questioning. According to the leader of the enforcement team, Assistant Commissioner Joseph Annan, the exercise is taking a different approach. Now, the Ghana Export Promotions Authority says it recorded $3.5 billion in non-traditional export revenues in 2022. The authority says manufactured and semi-manufactured products sector contributed the most. The Chief Executive Officer of GEPA, Dr. Ifua Asabi Asari, said the authority will deploy innovative means to add value to its product to increase export earnings. She was speaking at the GEPA 80th National Exports Forum.
Ghana recorded non-traditional export revenues of $3.5 billion USD, with the manufactured and semi-manufactured products sector contributing the most. This result highlights GEPA's dedication to enhancing exporters' capacities, fostering global competitiveness, exchange flows, and foreign exchange flows to bolster the local economy.
Now, pharmaceutical company Danex Arten-Starwen PLC says it remains resolute in restoring to profitability after it achieved a revenue of a little over 95 million in 2022, surpassing the over 74 million recorded in 2021. According to the board chairman of the company, Mr. Nick Amatefio, the company remains resilient in serving consumers and shareholders. He was speaking at the annual general meeting of the company.
Despite the challenges it faced, the company achieved revenue of 95.7 million, surpassing the revenue of 34.5 million generated during the entire period ending December 2021. This growth is attributed to our unwavering focus on driving volume growth and competitive pricing. However, we recorded a lost profit after tax of 3.5 million, in contrast with the profit after tax of 4.9 million.
We do some more stories now, and players in the insurance sector in West Africa are confident that developing a common West African financial framework will deepen insurance coverage in the sub-region. The Director of Finance Integration of the West African Monetary Institute, Suleiman Ator, explained that harmonizing standards in the sub-region will increase insurance coverage across borders.
The penetration is still low, but it's not. I think you can do both. It's possible to do both in country-wise and external, and also to open up the insurance sector. You can do both. But what is more important is really to harmonize. That's because we are going to have a single monetary zone.
Now, Ghana loses about 315,000 tons of maize annually to post-harvest losses along its value chain. Corn shelling by the fingers contributes a significant amount of these losses, and this common practice is deemed tedious, painful, and time-consuming, with potential of damaging the maize grain. In this week's episode of The Food Chain, Emmanuel Bright Kweku interacts with a maize farmer who has come up with an indigenous small-scale maize shelling prototype and also puts a spotlight on intertwining technology with agriculture.
Maize is one of the major staple crops of most homes in Ghana and across the African continent. But before the crop can be processed for any meal or product, the maize kernels must be detached from the ears in a process known as shelling. The easiest maize shelling processes are either with the fingers or beaten loaded sacks of maize cobs with sticks in situations when the harvests are huge. Farmers, however, argue the process is laborious. Kojo Abu cultivates maize at Manso Edubia in the Amansia West district of the Ashanti region.
We usually suffer when we use our hands as compared to the beating of the sacks. It's time consuming.
In the absence of sophisticated technology in developing countries, they resort to this traditional method, which is reported to contribute a significant amount of grain losses.
We really suffer. Our biggest problem is how to get to ready markets.
The lack of commercial processing of maize and improper storage facilities are causing immense food losses and insecurity in Ghana. As a result, farmers are compelled to sell their bumper harvest at low prices.
This rod begin to revolve.
Having gained a master's degree in project management, Ivan Ata Amwaku decided to cultivate maize and cassava on his 8-acre land in Manson Kwanta. After a bumper harvest and listening to concerns by other maize farmers in his community, Ivan resolved to develop the maize shelling machine for smallholder farmers.
It all started from when I decided to go into farming. This thing can take about 50 to 70 pieces of the stick. And in less than a minute, you should be able to shell it.
The 70?
The 70.
All of them?
All of them. We are also trying how best we can dry it.
Reports suggest the key driver for increasing agricultural productivity and rising incomes is the adoption of innovative technologies and practices by farmers. Professor Joseph Opon Akowa is a lecturer at the Department of Agricultural Engineering, KNUST.
When you harvest your maize, there should be a time frame that you should get it off. If you are able to channel resources, policies, interventions to help address these post-harvest losses through, like I said, a scheme that allows these technologies to be easily accessible, made it available, make the farmers, able to patronize and purchase these equipment or these machines, then in a way you are also reducing post-harvest losses.
For Joy News, I am Emmanuel Bright Kweku.
The Food Chain airs every Saturday at 6 p.m. on the Joy News channel, and a repeat on Tuesday at 2:30 p.m. And that's the end of the Joy Business Report. Do follow us on all our social media pages, including LinkedIn. The EcoBank salary account is a special account designed for workers of all income brackets, desirous of receiving their salaries through EcoBank. With the EcoBank salary account, you're guaranteed all the benefits of a normal savings or current account, plus many more. EcoBank salary account gives workers free life insurance cover of up to 10,000 Ghana Cedi, 24/7 access to cash and e-banking services, internet and mobile banking services, high interest on savings, no minimum balance, ability to save through the EcoBank Save As You Spend, a unique feature that helps customers to save and invest. Remember, the insurance policy covers death, permanent or temporary disability, critical illness, hospitalization, retrenchment, and more. Savings or current account holders at EcoBank do not have to close the existing account to enjoy the numerous benefits of the EcoBank salary account. Just ask your branch to switch your existing account to the EcoBank salary account. Non-EcoBank account holders should approach any EcoBank branch and ask for the EcoBank salary account. Switch your salary account today and enjoy amazing benefits at EcoBank. Call EcoBank toll free on 0800 003 225 wherever for further details. EcoBank is the Pan-African Bank. I am Beverly Broom. Ignition is next with Sammy Forson. Do enjoy.